For more than 20 years now, the United Nations has been bringing out reports called the Human Development Reports. These are of particular importance to Pakistan because they were really invented by one of our fondest sons. Dr. Mehboob ul Haq invented the idea of the human development and the idea of the Human Development Report. The NHDR, the National Human Development Reports, are reports that are more country focused. So each country will do a report that looks at the state of human development, meaning how are its people doing today and how are they doing when you look towards the future. One of the features that makes the all human development reports distinctive is that each year in each report has a theme. That means that you focus in on one issue of development and look at it more precisely. For Pakistan this year we have chosen the theme of youth. And the reason for youth is we are a very young country. We don't realize it, but just look around you and in whether it's in position of power, whether it's in position of influence, whether it is in positions of non-influence, you see a lot of young people. It is clear that not only the present but the future of Pakistan is going to be determined by those who are young today. And that is why this report focuses on the youth to try to understand what our youth today looks like, what are their hopes, what are their fears, what are their aspirations. So think about it this way, just how young are we? 64%, about 64% of our country is under 29 years of age. And what that means is this concept that's called the youth bulge. That means that not only are we a young country today, we are going to remain a young country for at least up to 2040. And that is from where this idea comes that the future of Pakistan is going to be determined by those who today are between 16 and 29. I think a good human development report is defined as a report that raises the right questions. It's not about answers. Does it make people think about things that they are not thinking about? Second, does it address, does it capture what people in that country, in that on that sort of issues are thinking about? And third, does it give them a sense of ideas, of potential, of possibilities, of what to do about the issue that they are confronted with? So one of the things we want to do with this report that I think is distinctive, it is after all a report. It is a lot of research, it's a lot of facts, it's a lot of policies, it's all those things. But what we want to be different in this report is that this is not only a report on the young people of Pakistan, we want this to be a report by the young people of Pakistan. And for that reason, we have put in a lot of effort to go out and hear from young people themselves. To ask them, what's on your mind? What is troubling you? What is giving you inspiration? What is giving you motivation? What is keeping you awake at night? And so we are making a lot of effort to try to go out to young people all across the country, from the northern areas down to Balochistan, to southern Punjab, to northern Punjab, to Sindh, to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, all over the country, and to say to them, share with us what is on your mind. So one of the things we are doing in order to try to get people to speak to us is we are trying to use every possible medium we can. We are just going ourselves and having these focus groups with all sorts of people and saying, tell us what's on your mind. Second, we are using all sorts of social media. Tell us what's on your mind. We are also doing some what you might call out of the box exercises, like putting these little voice boxes in different parts of Pakistan and saying to people, come into this box and just speak out what's on your mind. Here is what we promise. We promise we will listen. Whether we can do anything about it or not, that we don't know. But we will listen. We will try to have it reflected in the report so that here is the test for us. If a young person reads the report, they should get the sense that this is a report that heard what was on my mind. One of the other things we are doing is we are trying to use the medium of radio and trying to also encourage people to call in, again to say what is on my mind, what am I thinking about, my hopes, my fears. So one of the things we are hoping to do is to use all form of electronic media, whether it's radio or television, get people to call in, get people to believe that their voice matters, their thoughts matter. The way we have structured thinking about the topic, because the topic is a very big topic, right? If you're talking about youth, you're talking about just about everything. So to organize it, we have these 3 E's, if you will, which is education, employment, engagement. Education is quite clear. Education is, am I educated? Do I have the opportunities to be educated? Not only educated, but educated well. What is the conditions of those who are not educated? Employment is about, again, not simply whether young people have employment, but what is the quality of employment? Does employment allow them the possibility of a decent life? The third is in many ways a interesting and different E, which is engagement. And engagement is about, is my society providing me with the opportunity to engage entirely with that society, to engage as a citizen? And as a citizen, how do I engage? I engage politically. Do I have political voice? Do I have political engagement? Do I have the ability to express my political opinion? The second is about identity. Do I have the ability to engage in the identities that I have? That identity can be regional, that identity can be religious, that identity can be of all forms. But do I have that ability? And the third is society providing me the ability to engage socially? You know, if you think about things like sports, things like arts, things like any expression of one's own self, and a healthy society, the premise is that a healthy society, a society that is based on premise of good human development, should provide young people with the ability to engage with that society. If you ask any young person, one of the biggest things on their mind is employment. But we need to think about employment as even a broader issue than we usually think about. Employment is not only about whether I have a job or not. Employment is about what is the type of life that the jobs I have, the opportunities I have, are going to give me. Is it a safe employment? Is it a fulfilling employment? Is it an employment that brings out my best creative energies? Is it an employment, is the quality of employment such that it gives me avenues of growth? Right? That is the promise that a society needs to make to its young people. That it is not only that your basic needs can be met by the type of employment that you will get, but that if you try hard, you can reach the pinnacles of what you want. When you think about employment, you can look at the numbers, but the numbers can be misleading. So the unemployment rate is something around 7 to 8%. But the question that we are asking is not only how many people are employed, but also how many people are underemployed. Meaning that they have employments that do not match the capabilities, the skills, the education that they have. What is the quality of employment do they have? And in employment, we also want to talk about entrepreneurship. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the population of Pakistan, we need to be creating not simply jobs, but we need to be creating people who create jobs for other people. Right? And that's where entrepreneurship comes in. So as we talk to young people, one of the thoughts that has come up, which is very, very striking, is that the challenge is not simply that डिग्री हमारी हमें नौकरी नहीं देती. मसला ये है कि डिग्री हमारी हमें तालीम नहीं देती. That you can actually get a certain number of years of education, but not get education. And so it is the interlinkage between good education, good employment, good engagement that gives you good human development. One of the things that's come up again and again, which is very, very striking, is that your youth really think about this country at a very deep and strong level, which is very unusual. And what I mean by that is, in many parts of the world, young people are actually disengaged from the body politic. They have a world of their own and they live in that world. If you are young in Pakistan, you are living in the center of what is Pakistan. So we go to schools in Char Sadda, we go to young people in southern Punjab, and you find them with this great passion to talk about Pakistan, to talk about Pakistan's future. This is a set of young people who know that their future is intertwined with the future of the country. And more than that, this is a group of young people who know that the future of the country is going to be determined by that. That is very, very unusual. That is the Jawan Pakistan. जब हम नौजवानों से बात करते हैं पाकिस्तान के, खा वो किसी भी तबके के नौजवान हो, एक चीज़ जो बड़ी ख़ास साफ नज़र आती है कि उनके खौफ भी बहुत है, उनके डर भी बहुत हैं, उनके मसाइल भी बहुत हैं, वो तमाम उसका जिक्र करते हैं. लेकिन एक उम्मीद है, और एक बड़ी मुस्तहकम किस्म की उम्मीद है पाकिस्तान के बारे में, एक ऑप्टिमिज्म है पाकिस्तान के बारे में, और यही है जिसको हम कहते हैं जवान पाकिस्तान. The Pakistan National Human Development Report itself is to be launched in the middle and second half of 2015. But here is the important thing. For us, the process started the first day we started talking about it. The report is only one milestone, and it is neither the end point nor the only point that is important. So we hope that what is really the NHDR is the conversation that we have started over the last 1 year, and the conversation that will continue after the report has come out. And what I mean by that is that the report is only a product. It is only useful if it ignites a whole set of conversations in the country. Yes, ye galat hai, do this, do that. Then we would have been a success. The output of this process, to me the most important output, is having a national conversation on youth in Pakistan. A. B. To have the young people of Pakistan participate in that conversation, own that conversation in a deep and visceral sense. And third, to get policymakers, and by policymakers I mean the whole spectrum, the government, the parliament, the school teachers, parents. If you think about parents as policymakers, because they are going to affect children. But the point is to get everyone thinking that youth is something that we have to think about in all the policy decisions that we make. The process of putting together a National Human Development Report is really the process of putting together a lot of facts. And so we have a lot of information that will be put into the report in terms of statistics, in terms of surveys, in terms of perception, attitude surveys, in terms of looking at the literature. We have gone to experts in education, experts in employment, experts in engagement. We have sought their ideas. We've gone to young people, heard their voices. The idea of the National Human Development Report is to put all these together into a document that can trigger that national conversation on what it means to be a young person in Pakistan today. I hope the NHDR will be a live document, and I hope it will be an alive document that will remain alive well after it is launched. To me, it is a national tragedy, in fact, that Pakistan has not been able to do National Human Development Reports. The reason I say it's a national tragedy is this was our idea, or at least this was an idea by a Pakistani. So in many ways, this, if any country should have done reports like this on a regular basis, it should have been Pakistan. Pakistan is not the only country that is concerned about its young. If you look around the world, many of the countries that have recently taken off in a very, very fast economic way have taken off on the basis of their what is called their youth bulge. And this is called the youth dividend. And we see this in our own neighborhood. We see this all across Asia. The youth dividend is suddenly the economy, the country has a lot of young people, a lot of young ideas, a lot of enterprise, a lot of energy, and that lifts the country up. But along with what is called the youth dividend, there is always the danger of what's called the youth bomb. And the youth bomb in that sense is if you have a lot of young people who are very disenfranchised, who are very disengaged, who are angry, who do not have the jobs that they need, who do not have the education that they deserve, then you have the recipe for social catastrophe. So it is not just the youth who lie in balance, it is the fate of entire countries that lie in balance. किसी भी मुल्क के लिए अगर उसमें बहुत से नौजवान हैं तो वो उसकी तरक्की का एक सबब हो सकता है, क्योंकि नौजवान जो हैं वो एक एनर्जी लाते हैं, वो नए आइडियाज़ लाते हैं, वो एक मुतहर्रिक होते हैं, तो उसकी वजह से इकॉनमी जो है वो मुस्बत तौर पे हो सकती है। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ अगर आपके जो नौजवान हैं, जिस तरह पाकिस्तान में हमारे पास तकरीबन 65% जो हमारी आबादी है वो 29 या 29 साल से कम है, लेकिन अगर आपके नौजवान जो हैं वो डिसइनफ्रेंचाइज्ड हैं, अगर उनके पास नौकरी के मौके नहीं है, अगर उनके पास अच्छी तालीम के मौके नहीं है, तो एक एंगर, एक गुस्सा, एक फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी जो है वो बढ़ सकती है। वो कौम से और वो जो सोसाइटी है उससे वो डिसंगेज भी हो सकते हैं, और उसके बहुत ही मनफी नताइज भी हो सकते हैं मुआशरे पे। तो ये एक तरह से एक बैलेंस है जो ना सिर्फ नौजवानों के लिए बैलेंस है बल्कि मुआशरे के लिए बैलेंस है।